Hello, Facebook Live. This is Zach Geis, the Student Loan Tutor, coming out to all of you informed and educated student loan borrowers that watch this channel. If you guys are watching this, you know more than anybody I meet. So yeah, here we are. So today's title, as you probably noticed, says Student Loan Loopholes. I put the inflection in my voice to share the question mark at the end of that. A lot of people ask me, so wait a second, Zach, have you discovered student loan loopholes? Is that what you're implying here? And I say it's kind of funny because I actually own the domain studentloanloopholes.com and loanloopholes.com in case I want to shorten that in the future. And what are student loan loopholes? Do they exist? Do we have these secret answers that nobody else has? Are we privy to knowledge that nobody else knows about? Well, that's a great question. So it's kind of asking, are there tax loopholes? I guess ask yourself that question first and foremost. Are there tax loopholes? Do you believe that there are tax loopholes? Well, I guess it depends who you ask. Are some people overpaying on their taxes? I think yes. I know I was. Until I sought out professional help, and that's not a psychiatrist, by the way. Sought out professional tax help, because people that work with taxes and specific types of taxes. Let's say, for example, you have a tax professional that works with doctors, for example, and they work with a bunch of self-employed doctors. They're going to really understand the businesses of self-employed doctors. Hey, do you have these same expenses that typical self-employed other doctors that I help with taxes? Do you have that same situation? At which point you can go, yeah, and they could say, hey, did you know that that's a deduction? Or do you know if you have an SCorp, for example? I'm not giving tax advice right here, right now. I'm just saying that I've had this advice from tax professionals in the past. Do you know if you have an SCorp, then 7.5% of the self-employment tax of 15% will actually be covered because the SCorp is paying you as opposed to you earning the money directly as a sole proprietor. I'm not giving tax advice. This is what I was told by my tax guy. So check with your tax guy. So the last thing I need is someone saying I'm a CPA and I'm not. So the same thing works with student loans. Working with a student loan law firm, having student loan law prepare all of your strategy, your billing, and your paperwork, communicating with the servicers, any collection agencies, if for whatever reason you've gotten your loans in default. There are rights that you have as a borrower. There are ways to take advantage of repayment options that you would never know on your own. Why? Because it's not in anybody's best interest to be able to inform you of that. So are these programs directly, are they specifically created for, a lot of our clients have over $50,000 of student loan debt. And no, the programs weren't directly created for self-employed doctors or lawyers. The programs were created for various individuals that were having a very difficult time paying their student loans. So the program is created. However, when the program becomes created, the program could apply to you. So you could take advantage of a program that may not have necessarily been created for a doctor's office or a lawyer's law firm specifically. However, the way that the program works, that specific program would work really well for your practice or your business, for example. How much is there to all of this? I guess that's the question I get asked a lot. Can I just do this myself? To which my response typically is, you could do your taxes yourself. You can mow your lawn yourself. You can have a brand new Tesla, and even though they do all of the maintenance on your car themselves and don't charge you, you could try to do it yourself. The challenge with trying to work on a Tesla and not being a Tesla mechanic, I don't think I have to even talk about it, is that, if you want to do it, go for it. If you guys, if someone's listening to this and they feel like they've gleaned enough information to do this themselves, I'm encouraging you. Feel free, go do it. And I'm happy to provide the information to be able to do that. But a lot of people don't want to take the time to research it. They don't want to take the time to read the ebook. They don't want to take the time to watch this, ask the questions that it requires in order to be able to figure out and calculate how to do this yourself. And they just want to click a button. And I call that the TurboTax way of managing your student loans. It's actually even worse than TurboTax. Essentially, it's like calling your student loan. It's like calling the IRS and asking how much you owe in taxes. I'm sure they're happy to provide that information, but chances are you're going to overpay. So a lot of people ask me, well, why call a student loan tutor? Well, because we understand how all of these programs work. We work with it all day long, every day, with people in your exact situation. And something that you can feel confident with is, why in the heck would anybody hire us if we didn't save them money? That's a question that you should be asking. Why in the heck would you have any clients if you weren't saving them money? Because if they call us and we say, hey, we can't save you any money, like they wouldn't say, oh, hey, how can I become a client and save no money? That would just make absolutely no sense. So essentially what I do to kind of qualm that and explain it is, look, we understand the programs, we deal with this every day, we understand which programs are going to benefit you the best way to document income, best way to calculate family size, best way to have income flow to you as it pertains to your student loans, best way to save money as it applies to filing status, when calculating repayment, best way to qualify for loan forgiveness, best time to either consolidate or not consolidate, whether to stay in a field loan or whether to go to a direct loan, explaining how the subsidized negative amortization forgiveness works, and all of those things. So you could have a you could have an awesome strategy and feel good and like go to sleep at night knowing that you have the best in your corner. Essentially, I think that's why people come to us. This kind of turned into a sales pitch. That wasn't my intention. It started out with, do we have secret student loan loopholes? The answer is, I guess so. I guess we do. And it's called knowledge, just that is very esoteric and many people would just never even stumble across it. So yeah, that's kind of what you get when you work with a student loan tutor, or even listening to these videos and checking out our website, subscribing to our blog. You will learn how to manage and save the most amount of money on your federal student loans. This is Zach Geis, the student loan tutor, signing out.